Hey everyone, today we're going to look at the Sony X80R 4K Smart TV. Now this is the 65-inch version, so that would call it the... So, hi guys, so welcome to another episode of Richie's Gaming Gadgets and Gizmos. Today we're looking at the Sony X80R 4K Smart TV. Now this is the 65-inch version, so the model number would be 65X80R, so the 65X80R. That's a mouthful, but it makes sense, right? 65-inch TV, X80R model. Anyway, so with that being said, let's look at this TV in a bit more detail. Now, from an aesthetics purpose, the back of the TV is a standard, standard black. We have our 4 holes here for our wall mounting, for our VESA mount. And down here, we can see our ports. And it's a nice simple TV, basic black. These are the feet that are on the TV. Now here is the side view, and as you can see, it's about 2 inches thick. So it's not ultra slim, but for the price, you're not going to really notice the slimness because you're going to be watching the front, right, most of the time. And this is a humongous 65-inch TV, 4K. And we're going to see the quality shortly. But yeah, the aesthetics are not bad. So here's the back of the TV. Nice simple look. Nothing complex. Right here in the middle you can see we have our 4 holes here. That's for our VESA mounting if you want to wall mount this. And down on the lower right hand side we have our ports. What's good about this is the ports are not facing into the back of the TV, like into the wall. They are facing to the side. That way you can have this wall mounted and not worry about needing space behind the TV for cables to plug in, right? Because the cables are going to be facing that way, the plugs, as opposed to this way, like on older TVs, right? Which needed some wall space between the TV and the wall. You don't have that problem here. And right here on the lower left hand side, that's a closer view of where you plug in your AC power for the TV. So looking at the contents of the box, here we have some mounts for wall mounting the TV. So you screw into the back, the TV into those 4 VESA holes to mount your TV on the wall. Here we have what looks like cable management, some cable management clips. We have our remote. Comes with a set of batteries, and these are actually Sony branded batteries. We have, of course, warranty information, instruction manual, all that good stuff. And here we have a AC power cable. Now the Sony 65X80K comes with a plethora of ports. So looking at the back of the TV, starting from the bottom, we have the cable antenna port. We have the IR-N port and then the RS-232C port. Those are your remote ports. Then we have our customary RJ45 LAN port for a hardwired connection to your local area network. And we have 4, yes I said it, 4 HDMI ports. Starting with HDMI port 4. HDMI port 3 also is an EARC/ARC port. And then we have HDMI port 2 and HDMI port number 1. Now above that set of HDMI ports, we have the video in port, and this is for video or audio left and right, and that's your input, right? Input source. Now above that we have our digital audio out optical port, and that is for connectivity to your third-party surround sound system, Dolby 7.1 or Dolby 5.1. If you want that surround sound experience, that is the port that you would use. And then above that, we have 2 USB ports. And USB ports are usually used for if you have multimedia content on a USB stick that you want to play on your TV. You have your pictures and videos on there. You just plug the USB stick in, and through the user interface on your TV, you can easily access your multimedia. Now USB ports also double as power sources for accessories for your TVs, like if you have a streaming box or whatever that needs a 5-volt DC source, you can use these ports. Now, one thing to note, USB port 1 is a 5-volt DC port, and it has a 500 milliampere max current source rating. The second USB port is also a 5-volt DC, but it has a slightly higher current rating of 900 milliamperes. So as a maximum current source. So just keep that in mind when you're powering your devices. You have two choices. So let's take a closer look at the remote. Now, of course, it does come with the, as I said earlier, these Sony branded AAA batteries. Normally, I don't use the batteries that come with these things because they don't really last that long and they leak and all that. I'm sure these are great quality because they're Sony branded, but I usually recommend, if you do, use rechargeable batteries, or like the popular alkaline ones. But hey, you can use these in the short term if you don't have those batteries. Now, taking a closer look at the remote, nice plastic feel, right? Nothing special there. Basic black, and the back here is where you get access to the battery compartment. Right here, so the batteries go here. Pretty simple. You know what? Since I have it open, might as well put them in now. Okay, so this is our remote. Sony brand at the bottom, nice and simple. And then just looking at the buttons closely, let's start from the top. Here we have our power button. And then that's our TV button on the left there, right here. And here, there's nothing. It looks like a button, but it's just a mark. Right here we have our setup, access to our setup screen with that picture of that gear. Here, this is your source button, so that's when you want to select, which port you want to use. So if you have HDMI 1, 2, 3, or 4, you can select which port you want to access, especially if you have your game systems hooked up to HDMI ports, or you have a DVD player or Blu-ray player. All right, you can select the source there, as well as obviously live TV. But anyway, that's your source button right there. This 1, 2, 3, that is access to your on-screen keyboard. All right, so you get the full QWERTY keyboard with the numeric keys as well. So you access that there. And then of course we have our customary up, down, up, left and right, or up, down, left and right. This is your navigation controls. So obviously when you're on your user interface, you can navigate your application, your on-screen applications using those buttons. And then of course the select or enter button is the one in the middle. And if I keep quiet, you hear that clicking sound, right? So it has a nice clicky feel to it, pretty responsive, so you know when you press your buttons. The other buttons also are clicky as well, so that's a very good feel. I don't personally like spongy buttons. I like to feel that click because I know, okay, it's kind of confirming that you've made the button press, and it enhances the experience actually of using the remote. Here's your back button right here. Right, that's the back button, that's your home button right there, shaped like a home. Obviously here we have, that's a microphone picture, but this button here is what you press to access your voice assistant services, like Alexa or, Google Voice. I think it's Google Voice. But Alexa, the Alexa and Google Voice services, right? It's been a long day. This is your channel selection button up and down. Here's your volume button up and down. And these are your multimedia buttons, so that's your play and your pause. So this is your digital guide button. And obviously these buttons are self-explanatory. They're hotkeys and give you access directly to YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus, and Prime Video. And I'm not sure if I did say that before. There's a little hole right here. That's your microphone. So when you access your voice assistant services, you can speak into that microphone. It's the side of the remote, no buttons there. The bottom of the remote, pretty clean, just says made in China. Nothing on this side, and obviously at the top, pretty clean as well. All right. See, even the sensors and everything are kind of like well hidden, right? Because before traditionally you would see sensors along the top, but you know, it's packaged differently now. Cool, that's the remote. So when you turn it on, this is what you get. You get to select your language. So let's do that now and do the setup. We're going to select English. And then the next thing we're going to do is select our region or country. We have a couple options here. I'm going to select this one, Canada. Now here's where you can set up Google TV. This is a very popular app now. It's just a streaming service. There are a lot of streaming services out there, including Google TV. With this you get movies and TV shows, you get personalized recommendations. You have the Google Assistant I talked about, where you can use your remote control as the microphone to say what you want to do and how you want to control your TV, search for content, stuff like that, access live TV, and then of course you can connect to external devices via Google TV. We're going to just set up basic TV for now because we're just focusing on reviewing this television, but that's where you can access your Google TV. Here's what we're going to do is we're going to select our Wi-Fi. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to set up my Wi-Fi, and then once I'm done, we will come right back. So we're connecting to our Wi-Fi and we are connected. So I believe it's going to check for updates. No, it's connected to the internet. Let's see. So here's where we accept all the legal T's and C's. So I'm just going to accept everything. I'm going to, now for Google services, here you can allow Google and apps with your permission to use your location estimated through Wi-Fi. They may collect your location data periodically and use this data in an anonymous way to improve location accuracy and location-based services. And you can also automatically send diagnostic information to Google. So you can do whatever you want for that one. I usually just disable the diagnostic information one, because it's just me. I leave the location services on. Anyway, let's accept that. Sony Bravia, top brand. So let's start. And really set up our Bravia TV experience. So we're going to go through the Bravia T's and C's. Just scroll down. When you get to the bottom, you should get an action button coming up. And here you can confirm that they can use your data, all that stuff. I'm just going to agree to all. Proceed. Voice recognition. So with this, now your TV is connected to the net. You can use voice recognition. So in order for it to work, you have to be logged into a Google account, and then you can then activate voice recognition by holding the remote up to your face. And voice recognition can be activated by holding the microphone button down on the remote control, and that's the microphone button that I showed you earlier on the remote, or you can just select the icon for it on the home screen, right? And that button, if you remember, it's this button here with all the little multicolors, the different colors right there. If I can zoom in, this button right here with the colors below the picture of the microphone. Let me zoom in a bit more. That button with the blue, red, and yellow circle. That's the button, the microphone button. And obviously you can search for content and info that you want using your voice. So let's go next. Now this does have power saving mode. By default, I think it's right now set on low to reduce power consumption, and the TV will automatically adjust its brightness and TV panel settings according to your selection. Now if you select off for optimal picture quality with a brighter screen, right? If you turn off that power saving, you're going to get the best picture quality, obviously at the expense of consuming more power. So just keep that in mind. And obviously you can change this later under power saving in the quick settings menu. And to access that, you remember that button that I showed you with the gear on it? That's the setup button. You go into there. So I'm going to leave it off, because I want to really showcase this TV's graphics qualities for this demo. How do you want to receive channels? We can use a cable or satellite box or antenna. I'm just going to skip this because we're just going to showcase the TV itself and not the TV services, or look at any channels because of copyright issues, obviously. So here's where you can set up the devices you want to set up with your TV. Now this is a Sony TV, and I do have a Sony PlayStation demo. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to skip this, and what should happen is when I do hook it up later and turn on the PlayStation 5, this should automatically detect the PlayStation 5 as well as optimize that HDMI port that is connected to for that gaming system. So let's connect later. Now here, the TV does come with speakers, obviously, because you're hearing sound. Now the TV speaker sound is optimized based on the position of your TV. Now by adjusting the balance of sound from low to high frequency, now here's where you specify your TV's position. Now the TV does come with a set of built-in speakers, and that's the sound you're hearing right now. Now that TV speaker sound is optimized based on the position of your TV. So by adjusting the balance of sound from low to high frequency, sound becomes clear and easy to hear, as you can see, right? So here, depending on if it's a tabletop stand or wall mount, right, the TV speakers will be optimized. I'm going to select tabletop stand because this is the configuration that we have now. And now we're going to do an acoustic calibration, so that calibration optimizes the audio output of your TV, speakers, listens to the environment. Now there is a microphone on the TV remote control, and I showed you that. So that measure takes about 5 seconds. So what you're supposed to do, we recommend that you sit down in front of the TV with the mic, right where you normally would be, and then we're gonna press next. So I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna stand behind the TV because normally I'd be sitting about at least 8 feet from this TV, so I'm right in front of the TV, behind this camera. I'm going to click on next, and I'm going to keep quiet while it does the calibration. And as you can see, I'm correct. So it says sit where you normally do when watching TV, hold your remote at chest level and point it towards the TV, and select start and keep the remote control in its position to measure correctly. So here's the remote, and I'm going to be about 4 feet behind this camera. I'm going to sit down here, and I'm going to press start. And the calibration has been completed. Let's go next. Now you can register your TV. I'm going to skip. And I won't forget, I'll register later. So there's Apple AirPlay and HomeKit. So you can wirelessly share content with this TV using AirPlay and control the TV using Home app on your iPhone, iPad, or Mac. And you can set up AirPlay and HomeKit at any time in settings. Good to know. Now there most probably are updates here. Enable Samba Interactive TV. This is so Samba Interactive TV, that gives recommendations and other applications by gathering data regarding the consumption of specific on-screen content to enhance it. So what this does, it just monitors what you consume, and then it will recommend some of the content. So you can disable this interactive TV anytime in the settings. So keep that in mind though, because if you are weary about Big Brother out there is looking and learning what you're watching and giving you content recommendations, if you don't feel comfortable with that, you don't have to enable it. But right now I wanted to say next, and there's the privacy policy. You can agree and enable. I'm just going to disagree and disable. And please be aware, disabling Samba TV will limit your access to some viewing recommendations. It will not reduce the number of ads you see, so you still see a bunch of ads. They just won't be tailored to your preferences, right? And it said additionally, disabling will make some of the ads you see less relevant to you. Are you sure you want to disable? Yes, I'm good. And then here are accessibility features. You can make text on menus appear bigger if you have sight issues. You can turn on and configure screen reader if you have listening, hearing issues, and there's more. That's pretty nice as well. And now we're done. Setup's complete. So we can click on done. So here's the home screen, right? These lovely big panel tiles here for all of your different features. So live TV, program guide. Here's where you can select your inputs. Right now it does detect the PlayStation 5. And it does see it's on HDMI 3, which is good. Let's keep going. I do have a PlayStation 5 hooked up. Here's your dashboard. Here's where you access the settings that they keep referring to. If I click on that, here's where you can set up Google TV. You can configure your channels and inputs, display and sound, internet access. Everything is here. Let's go back. Netflix obviously is here, Prime, YouTube. Obviously with these two you would actually have an account. If I click on Netflix, you need to sign in with your account details. Alright, pretty self-explanatory. So let's let it come up for a sec. Alright, this is where you can get started, do all that cool stuff. Let's go back. Prime Video similar, YouTube, Disney Plus. So these are the pre-installed apps. Here's a Bravia notifications panel where you can set up notifications. You can see any new notifications, right? And I have 3. And if there's any important ones, they will come up here. Here explains some features. If there's new feature notifications, which is good, right? Because this is connected to the internet, you do get updates, and there's new features that are added from time to time. You will get them here. And when you see that blue circle, right? These are new notifications that you can use, that you can read. Right. So let's go back into the main menu here. We have a music menu, help menu. What I love about the help on these TVs nowadays, we save trees. Everything is pretty much online now. You have access to videos that tell you how to, show to reviews the remote control, how to use it, how to use the TV, right? You don't have to read long, boring pages of how-to content in books anymore. It's all nicely done for you in these lovely videos. And there's popular topics. There's a Q&A section. You can select the topic, and everything is here. How do I install apps? How to remove and uninstall an app? How to perform a software update? All the cool stuff. And here is the online manual. Right, you have like useful features. You can go here, enjoying preferred apps, for example, installing apps. Everything is here, online guides. And then if you go back and go to stats and diagnostics, you can do system software updates, check if there's an update available. Let's check right now. And I have it set for automatic updates. And there's a software update available. So what I'm going to do is update this TV, and then when I'm done, actually continue the background. So look at that. I can continue doing this review while it's updating. So you go ahead and update, and while I continue my review, you can come back and see where we are in that update. So here's system information, signal diagnostics. There's a lot of really cool stuff you can do from your couch. You don't have to get up and call anyone. You don't have to look for books. Everything is online, accessible with your remote. And then if you want online support using your smartphone, you can just scan the QR code here on the lower left hand side. So if you go down here, I think that's it so this is the menu as it is. So you can come here and set up Google TV. But what I want to do right now is just showcase what I'm going to do is wait for the update to happen, and once that's done, I'm now going to give you a demo of the picture quality by going on to doing a demo of some 4K content. So the first set will be just a small video snippet showing you some 4K video, just demoing the capability of this Bravia X80R TV. And then we're going to go into some more fun stuff, and then I'm going to power on my PlayStation 5 and play a couple of games, 4K PlayStation 5 games, for you to see how well this TV handles fast-paced, high-end gaming. So here's our update going on right now, and once this is done, we will then move on to 4K video demos, the fun stuff. guys, I hope you enjoyed that review of the Sony Bravia X80R TV. This is a 4K TV. This particular one is a 65-inch version. It's an impressive TV. A couple of quick stats. So when it comes to like specs, there's, it's 38 inches by 22.25 inches. That's width by height, and then it has a thickness of 2 3/4 inches. One of the other things I want to talk about, the base amount at the back, just in case you're wondering, it's a 200 by 200 millimeter base amount. This TV has a bit of a weight to it. Without the stand, it's about just over 10 kilograms, or about 22.3 pounds. With the stand, you're looking at about 10.6 kilograms, right? So about a half a kilogram in weight contributed by the stands. So that gives you a total of 23.4 pounds. When it comes to the Wi-Fi, it does support 802.11 A, B, G, N, and AC. That's a lot of letters. Just remember, it supports Wi-Fi like any modern TV does. And then it does have Chromecast built in. It does have Apple AirPlay built in, as well as Apple HomeKit. Now, it does have a native refresh rate of 60 Hertz, but as you can see for that gameplay, it does have another technology that increases the refresh rate. I'm going to give you that in a second. I'm just checking the specs here. I believe it's called, yeah, that's it. Yes, I was right. So it does have something called Motion Flow XR240. So that means 240 Hertz, right? Just specific for gameplay. Although the native refresh rate is 60 Hertz, it has that Motion Flow XR240 technology built in, and that makes the TV handle high-end refresh rates on games like, the PlayStation 5. Now the built-in speakers are two 10-watt speakers, so you have 2 times 10 watts. Obviously with a TV of this type, in your room, I would obviously recommend investing in a surround sound system. They're pretty affordable. So yeah, overall, this is a really good TV. It does come with Android TV and operating system built in, as you saw when we did start the TV. And it does have Google TV services, and there is onboard storage of 16 gigabytes. Now, just check for the TV in your particular region, because those specs may vary, especially the storage. But yeah, that's your Sony Bravia X80R Smart TV. This is the 65-inch version, and I hope you like it. Now, it's a really high-end TV because it's Sony. The price is pretty affordable if you check them online. And speaking of online, if you want to find out more about this TV, you can check the links below this video. So guys, until next time, stay safe and happy gaming. Bye-bye. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that last video. If you liked it, go ahead and like it. Thank you very much ahead in advance. And if you haven't done so already, you should subscribe to this channel. 2 reasons for doing that. 1, you will get access to our weekly content that's coming out when it comes to do with TVs, TV accessories, home entertainment systems, pretty much anything to do with televisions will be coming out. And the second reason is you will automatically be eligible for our future prize giveaways. Now, speaking of prize giveaways, in addition to subscribing to this channel, you would also need to subscribe to our newsletter. Now, to get access to doing that, just click on the link below to our website at www.redtechbot.com and just subscribe to our newsletter there. And once you've done that, you're automatically automatically eligible for prize giveaways. So newsletter subscription and subscribe to the channel. That's it. Anyway, guys, other than that, if there are any TV models, TV accessories, home entertainment systems, anything to do with TVs that you would like me to review, just leave them in the comments below and I will add that to my backlog and see what I can do for you. Now, I can't promise you or guarantee I will get those product reviews done, but I will definitely see what I can do in the near future. No promises, but at least let me know and I'll see what I can do. Other than that, guys, happy TV viewing and just stay safe out there. Okay, so till next time, bye-bye.